Exactly. So that's hopefully what this is going to do.
So if it was me, I would get a very select few people in a room and figure out where the fuck we're going.
And did you attend the offsite?
No, I wasn't. Okay. I wasn't able to do that
because that seemed to be saying the right thing, but then afterwards, whether or not Anthony, no follow up and zero execution. I'd be curious how you felt about what was discussed. If you feel that's where the company should be pivoting.
I don't know, because I think I do remember seeing the deck out of it, but given there's no follow-up, I'm not sure that means that's very relevant.
Right.
So personally, where I think we're going is we should probably think about, what's the research value proposition these days, and does it have one? Mm-hmm. And what does the research product need to look like to have a value proposition? In an age where everybody, now with Twitter, I can almost write a full-page dialogue.
Exactly. It's quite different than when we had to go to the library to do our research.
Right. So the question becomes, is opinions, I think, become not worthless, but worth less. Okay? Harder to monetize. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to figure out data. Unique data that gets aligned with our knowledge of the markets to be interpreted appropriately, and then you have unique data on top of, hopefully intuitive, insight.
Right.
Which then becomes more valuable. Right. The other thing I think is valuable is the Tab Forum community, but we haven't done a great job monetizing it. Mm-hmm. So. And I don't think that the sales guys, there's very little lack of direction with the sales team. And I'm not sure they know how or what they're selling.
Right. Training is...
So whether it's training or just, make some fucking phone calls and drag some analysts over to see clients, and you'll figure the fucking thing out. Right. Or what are the sales goals? What are the targets? How do they?
All the metrics,
reliability. Between the sales guys and Fran, there should be a process to get us in front of our clients and prospects. And once we get in front of clients and prospects, hopefully, the analysts or senior people from Tab can take away what do we need to do.
Right.
But without that interaction, it's really hard. It's kind of like, I'm looking outside, I don't know whether it's 90 degrees or whether it's 20 degrees.
Right.
It looks like, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's raining, but I can't be sure.
Right. But if I actually go outside,
I will understand what the weather looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it starts with the sales and the client-facing teams. Get us out in front of people, figure out what they want, recast the deliverables into something that people want and will pay for. Go out and attack the client base and prospects, so that we can actually sell stuff. Create metrics and sales teams and incentives to get the sales guys off their butt to do stuff. And that I think moves the company back in the right direction, as well as, what are the monetizable assets on the forum that we haven't really been able to monetize.
Right. I think there's I'm sorry.
And I think there are a bunch of things. But like today, we had a back and forth over, an article that a non-client posted on the forum, which is fine. We do that all the time. But these guys haven't paid us any money. How can we create? Right. So the question is, do we force them to pay us so that we distribute it?
Right. Or
which means that they probably don't distribute it on our channel.
Right.
Or we can create a set of products and services around them deploying that they get value out of. Which then, instead of the stick, basically, no, unless you pay us, you can't get access to the community, and by not posting it, our community becomes less relevant. Or create things that look for that value. I get a lot of value out of that. I'm willing to give you, 100, 1,000, whatever it is to do that.
Right.
And then what happened was, you know, somebody throws cold water. Oh, we don't have money to rebuild the tab form site. So that's not the issue. Figure out a way how to work around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know who's reading stuff. We know, and these conversations quickly devolve into, we can't do anything, so we do nothing.
Right.
And Anthony's not experienced enough to basically cut through the bullshit and say that's not a good answer.
Right. Just get it done. Figure it out.
By next Friday. Have an answer.
Exactly.
Give me 3
Get
things.
Creative.
By Friday, give me 3 things that you can do, and you can monetize, and we can sell this shit.
Right.
And
yeah, but I think the first is it's right on target with the basics of when you're a salesperson, you're either selling a product or you're filling a need, and then in turn it becomes a product. And I don't know if the sales force is worried that they're going to overpromise and underdeliver because they've gotten it in their head that they just don't have the resources. You can figure it out.
I don't know. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
Right.
You sell it, we'll figure out a way how to deliver it. That's how it works.
Right.
We're not going to build something for you may or may not sell. We're going to go build it when you need to deliver it. So fucking sell it, and then we'll figure out a way how to deliver it.
Exactly. One other thing that you had mentioned early on, do you feel that the word research is still relevant?
I think the word research is still absolutely relevant. The question becomes is, what are people willing to pay for?
Sure. Right.
Our core value proposition revolved around talking to buy-side folks, turning those conversations and insight into data, and then writing up our viewpoints on that. That's hard and expensive and difficult to do, which is why, folks, that people pay for it. Over the last, this certainly happened before the transition, so you can't blame Anthony for this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to blame me or
It's okay.
the folks that I had running research, one of which was Anthony, but that's a different story. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
And given your own natural inclinations, you're not going to go step up to the plate and go volunteer to interview 50 buy-side